ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, in this Mundakopanishad we are in mantra number 2-2-9, that is second Mundaka, second Khanda, ninth mantra, and hopefully we will be completing this particular Khanda. That is, this Khanda is having 2 more mantras. I think we will complete the mantras. In the 9th mantra we were seeing the Bhashyam. In the last class we read that mantra called mantra which reads like this: Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahma nishkalam tat shubhram jyotisham jyotihi tadyad atma vido viduhu. So the important point there we saw was, what is this Jyotisham Jyoti, the light of all lights. So that light of all lights I explained with reference to the Eka Shloki of Shankaracharya. That Eka Shloki is there, isn't it? So Kim Jyotistava Bhanuman Ahanime Ratrau Pradipadikam. So that particular shloka I read out in the last class, and I explained as to what is the light and what is the light of lights. So the light of lights, if we have to recall, we see the objects. When we see the objects, what are the things which are involved? My mind is involved, my indriyas, my sense organs are involved. When I see an object, the object is there. That object is illumined by my senses. Illumined does not mean you throw the light, because in Vedanta the word light or Jyoti is used to refer to consciousness or intelligence. It is a metaphorical usage, it is a figurative usage. Light in Vedanta, the word light or Jyoti in Vedanta is used to refer to say consciousness or intelligence. So when I say that the sense organ is illumining that object, it means that the sense organ is perceiving that object. The object itself, it has no sentience. So the sense organ is the thing which is identifying or which is seeing or perceiving that object. So in that manner, sense object is the Jyoti, and which is illumining that thing. Sense object is the Jyoti or light which is illumining that, not sense object, the sense organ is the light which is illumining that object. But this, what is the sense organ itself is not doing it. Suppose the mind is absent, mind is elsewhere, your mind is say thinking about something else, but in front of your eyes there is something and you have not seen it. So, but the sense organ doesn't work at that time. So, which means that it is the mind which is illumining the sense organ. Mind is more primary. And when the mind goes to sleep, then what is it that is illumining? The notion that when the mind is totally asleep, then what is it is illumining? The buddhi is there. The buddhi is there, always that consciousness is very much there, whether the mind is awake or asleep. The consciousness, the supreme consciousness of Brahman is always there. So the mind is, for that thing, what we say is, the mind is, the indriya, sense organ, is shining after or shining in accordance with the mind. The mind is shining in accordance with the Mahat or cosmic intellect. That cosmic intellect again is Anubhati, shining after that Supreme Brahman, the consciousness of the Supreme Brahman. In this way, what is the Jyotisham Jyotihi, or the light of all lights? The light of all lights is that Supreme Brahman only. Then that consciousness only is what is illumining. Illumining means what is enabling all the things to know what things are. So that is the thing. So that is what we were seeing. So in the last class we read this particular line, Anyadinamapi Jyotishvam Antargata Brahmatma Chaitanya Jyotirnimittam ityarthaha. We read that line, isn't it? So that is the Jyotishvam. the luminousness or the ability to perceive things, the ability to know things is because of Antargata Brahmatma Chaitanya Jyoti Nimittam, is only because of that Brahma Chaitanyam. It is only that Brahma Chaitanyam which is pervading in all things, all sentient things, and that is how we are able to know things. We are able to know or perceive. Tadhi Param Jyotihi Yad Anya Anavabhasyam Atma Jyotihi. So what is this Param Jyoti? Param Jyoti means that supreme say light. We also have this name. Sometimes some people have this name Paranjyoti. Paranjyoti also, it's a name. Sometimes the people have. So that the Paranjyoti, yet that which is Anya Anavabhasyam, that which is not illumined by anything else, that which is not known by anything else. This is the thing which is knowing, which is perceiving all that. It is the consciousness which is perceiving all things. There is nothing which is able to objectify that consciousness, which is able to perceive, which is able to objectify that consciousness. When we say that Anya Anavabhasyam, it can't be seen and all that, it does not mean that it can't be realized. Otherwise, what is the talk of this Brahma Prapti and Brahman realization? Brahman realization means remaining in that state of pure awareness, isn't it? You are not objectifying that awareness, but you are remaining in that state of awareness. So that is the basic point. You are not seeing it as somebody who is different. You are different from that consciousness and you are observing that consciousness. Not like that. You are becoming that consciousness. You are staying in that state of consciousness. So that is what it is. That is what is the meaning of Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So Anya Anavabhasyam. Anya Anavabhasyam is that which is not illumined by something else. That is that Paranjyotihi. Tadyad Atmavidaha Atmanam Swam Shabdadi Vishaya Buddhi Pratyaya Sakshinam Ye Vivekino Viduhu Vijananti Te Atmavidaha Tad Viduhu Atma Pratyayanusarinaha. So that Tadyad Atmavido Viduhu, that word is being explained in that mantra. Tadyad Atmavido Viduhu, that word is there. Tadyad Atmavidaha. What is the meaning of Atmavidaha? Atmanam ye jananti. Atmanam. What is this Atma? Swam Shabdadi Vishaya Buddhi Pratyaya Sakshinam. So you have to forget about yourself as somebody who is having a body-mind complex and all that. You have to see yourself, or you have to know yourself as the Sakshi, as the witness for all the Buddhi Pratyayas. So that means you are even objectifying your mind. You are objectifying what all is taking place in the mind. The Buddhi Pratyaya. Pratyaya means all the experiences which are taking place in the mind. You are watching them. You are no longer identifying yourself with your office status as somebody, office, say, manager in the office. You are bossing over so many people, and you are having this, that, so much of pomp and power. So all those things you are forgetting. And then you are identifying yourself as the Sakshi, as the witness consciousness for what all goes on in the mind. Sarva Vishaya Buddhi Pratyaya Sakshi. Buddhi Pratyaya means the experiences, all the waves, thought waves which are going on in the mind. So for all that, you are the Sakshi, you are the witness. Shabdadi means the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Vishaya, Gandha, all these five sense objects are there, isn't it? So all those five sense objects, Shabdadi, Vishaya, these are all the five sense objects. This Buddhi Pratyaya, these sense objects, they create, say, those impressions in our mind, those experiences in our mind. So you are a witness to that. So the people who know like that, people who see themselves as the Buddhi Pratyaya Sakshi, they are the Atma Viduhu. Ye Vivekinaha Viduhu, those intelligent people, those who know this, Ye Viduhu, Te Atma Vidaha, they are the Atma Vidaha. Why? Tad Viduhu, Te Tad Viduhu, Atma Pratyayanusarinaha. They are the people who are concentrating or experiencing the Atman. They are staying in that state of Atman. Atma Pratyaya Anusarinaha. They are not following the sense objects. They are staying in their own state of being pure consciousness. That is it. Te Viduhu Atma Pratyaya. Pratyaya literally means a sort of experience. Pratyaya is a thought, an experience. So that is Buddhi Vritti also it is it. Atma Vritti. That is Atma Vritti means I am that Sakshi Chaitanya. So you are in that state of awareness. So Buddhi Pratyaya Anusarinaha Yasmat Paranjyotihi
यस्मात् परं ज्योतिः
तस्मात् तयेव तद्विदुः
तस्मात् तयेव तद्विदुः
न इतरे
न इतरे
बाह्यार्थप्रत्ययानुसारिणः.
बाह्यार्थप्रत्ययानुसारिणः.
So because this is Param Jyoti, Yasmat Param Jyoti, this is the supreme Jyoti, this is the supreme light, means that is the thing which is illumining all other things, and there is nothing which is illumining it, there is nothing which is knowing it. So this Param Jyoti is able to objectify everything, whereas there is nobody, there is nothing else which is able to objectify that Param Jyoti. So that is the basic, that is the idea. Param Jyoti means this is the only thing which is able to know all things, and all other things, they are only objects, and this is the subject, this is the way druk, and all other things are drushyam. So what all things fall under the category of drushyam are seen, kshetram, that is all kshetram as Bhagavad Gita says, and then this is the only, say, kshetrajna. So that is being talked about here. Yasmat Param Jyotihi Tasmat Tayeva Tadviduhu. Those people only, they are the Tadviduhu, the people who know that, but not others. Na itare means not others. Bahyartha Pratyayanusarinaha. Those who go after Bahyarthas, those who go after all the external objects and experiences of external objects. The Atman is realized only by those who say go after the Atma Pratyaya and not Bahyartha Vishaya Pratyaya. Atma Pratyaya means the say Atmakara Buddhi Vritti, Brahmakara Buddhi Vritti. So that also we say, isn't it? So those who stay in that Buddhi Vritti, so only they realize, but not those who are in this, those whose Buddhi Vrittis are depending on external objects. So that is it. Then Katham Tad Jyotisham Jyotihi Ityuchyate.
Katham tad Jyotisham Jyotihi Ityuchyate.
So how is that the light of lights? That is being talked, that is being told. Katham tat Jyotisham Jyotihi, the light of lights. How is it? It is being told. Read the mantra. This is again a very, very famous mantra. At the time of, sometimes it is recited while lighting the lamp, and sometimes in some temples, and depending on the temple, say, tradition, at the time of giving arati, this is recited. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वम् तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. Okay, so there the same thing which was told in the earlier mantra is being told. That is, in the earlier mantra said Jyotisham Jyotihi. For that, this particular mantra says, uses a particular word called Anubhati. Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. Bhantam Tam Anye Sarve Api Anubhanti. Anyat Sarvam, let us say. Sarvam, yeah, it is used in Napumsakalinga. Bhantam Tameva Sarvam Anubhati. That is, that which is the light, all other things, they are shining after that light. That which is shining is there. There is something which is shining. All other things, they are only shining after that. So you can come back to what we discussed in the last class also about this Jyotisham Jyotihi. Just now also I recalled. That is the sense object. There is a sense object which is illumined by the, what is this sense organ? No, sense organ. So sense organ is bhati. In that sense, sense organ is at the level of bhati. Bhati means shines. Then anubhati is all the objects. And at a second level, the sense organ itself is anubhati. It comes to a lower level. Mind becomes bhati. That is a higher level. The mind itself becomes a lower level, and then anubhati, buddhi, let us say. And that buddhi itself is a small fraction of that mahat, that is cosmic intellect. Because in this Upanishad only we saw Vispulingaha. So yatha Vispulingaha. So this small tiny intelligence is somewhat like a small sparkling, let us say, of that mighty intellect, cosmic intellect. So we are Anubhati with reference to that cosmic intellect which is Bhati. And then that cosmic intellect also is Anubhati with reference to the Brahman which is the real Bhati. So tameva bhantam anubhati. Bhantam, that which is shining. So that is it. So let us see. Na tatra suryo bhati. The sun doesn't illuminate. Na tatra suryo bhati means the sun doesn't illuminate. na chandra tarakam, it is not the moon and the stars. Na ime, na ima, na ima means nema, nema is na ima, not these. Vidyutaha, ima vidyutaha, these flashes, lightning flashes, na bhanti. Kutaha ayam agnihi, you are giving that, you are lighting that lamp or giving that arati. So kutoyam agnihi, what to talk of this silly agni? So when the sun itself is not able to illuminate, when the moon itself is not able to illuminate, what to talk of this little agni? What to talk of this little matchstick and small fire which we are using it here? Kutoyam agnihi, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. So all this we see is only shining after that one thing which is shining. That is it. All this thing which we see is only shining after or in accordance with what is already shining. So that is it. That is the thing. Tasya bhasa, by the light of it. Tasya bhasa means by the light of that. Bha is light. Bhasa is by that light. Trutiya. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. All this is shining. So that is literally what that is the meaning. So let us see the bhashyam. Katham tad jyoti. Yeah. Na tatra tasmin swatma bhute brahmani.
न तत्र तस्मिन् स्वात्मभूते ब्रह्मणि
सर्वावभासकोऽपि सूर्यो भाति.
सर्वावभासकोऽपि सूर्यो भाति.
Okay. Tasmin swatmabhute brahmani. You see, for this sun also, what is the Atma? For this sun also, the self is that Brahman. For the moon also, the self is Brahma. For the Chandra, Taraka, etc., all these things, the self is, their self is Brahma. Similarly, for Agni also, their self is Brahma. So, when their own self is Brahma, how can it illumine? How can I look at myself? How can I look into my own eyes? Of course, you can say Darpanam is there. You forget about Darpanam. I can't observe my own consciousness. I can't observe consciousness. Nobody can observe. Nobody can objectify the consciousness, isn't it? So, na tatra tasmin swatma bhute brahmani. When that Brahman is its own self, how can this Surya see it? Sarvava bhasakopi Suryaha, the Surya who is Sarvava bhasaka, who is able to illumine all, who is able to see all. Na bhati. This na has to be connected to that. Na tatra bhati. Na tatra Suryaha bhati. Then similarly, tad Brahma na prakashayati ityarthaha. The Surya na prakashayati ityarthaha. So that sun, he is not able to objectify that Brahma. Then sahi tasyaiva bhasa. सर्वम अन्यद अनात्मजातम प्रकाशयति इत्यर्थः.
सर्वम अन्यद अनात्मजातम प्रकाशयति
इत्यर्थः. सहि, that sun himself, the sun himself, tasyaiva bhasa, by the light of that Atma. Tasya means that Atma. We are talking about the Atma Chaitanya. Tasyaiva bhasa, sarvam anyad, all other things which is anatmajatam, all these things which are the non-self, or the insentient, all the non-self, prakashayati. Sun is able to see, sun is able to illumine all that. So here of course we can take this thing as saying that sun literally is able to illumine, that is one thing. Literally means sun is shining and all the things are seen, that is one thing. But when we say sun, that Surya Avachinna Chaitanya also is there. Surya Bimba Avachinna Chaitanyam. Sun associated with that consciousness. Sun also in our mythological lore, we accept sun as a person, isn't it? As a sentient person. So sun is, we treat him as a god. So that is why, even if you take that, this it makes sense. That sun who is able to see all the things, who is able to illumine all the things, even sun cannot see that, means the self, the very self of that sun is that Brahman consciousness and nothing else. Then, natu tasya swatah prakashana samarthyam. This is a great statement, you see. People did not know at the time, people did not know that say sun is again a star and all that. Sun is again, now we know with the help of science, we know that sun is a star. So then at that time nobody knew. But still at that time Shankaracharya has written this, Natu tasya swatah prakashana samarthyam. Sun doesn't have that self-luminous power. Swatah prakashana. Sun doesn't have that self-luminous power. That is something which is derived from that supreme consciousness only. from that supreme consciousness only is responsible for this particular light called sun, moon, stars, etc. Natu tasya swatah prakashana samarthyam. Tatha na chandratarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi asmad gocharaha. Okay, tatha, likewise, na chandratarakam. Chandratarakam is a collective say expression for the moon and the stars. Chandra and tarakam. Chandra tarakam. Tarakam means all the stars. Tara and star, both one and the same. Na ima vidyutaha, and not all these flashes of lightning. Bhanti. Bhanti means shine. Na bhanti means they do not shine, means they cannot illumine, they cannot objectify. And what to talk of? Kutaha ayam agnihi. What to talk of? Kutaha ayam agnihi. Asmat gocharaha, that which is seen by us. Asmat gocharaha means that which is cognized by us, that which is seen by us. So, in fact, the arati also now we have to understand in this context. When we light up the lamp or when we give arati, what exactly are we doing? It is not as though we are lighting up the sun. It is not as though we are lighting up the God and then we are trying to see what it is. But then we are lighting up the lamp in our own self. We are lighting up the lamp in our own self in order to see ourselves. So that is the symbolic meaning. It is not as though we are seeing God in that particular light. We are reminding to ourselves that we have to light a lamp inside. We have to light the lamp inside and try to see what we are. So the inner lamp has to be lit. So that is the meaning. Then Kim Bahuna. Kim Bahuna means what to talk of, what to say several things. Kim Bahuna, why speak of too many things? Kim Bahuna, why to talk more? Why to talk more? Yadidam jagat bhati tat tameva parameshwaram swatah bharupatvat bhantam deepyamanam anubhati anudipyate. So idam sarvam, what all we see, whatever we see in the universe, yadidam jagat, whatever is there in this universe, bhati, whatever is there seen as something which is sentient. Bhati means something which is sentient. Asti bhati, those words also we have to remember here. Asti bhati priyam. Bhati means referring to not merely light but referring to intelligence. Yadidam jagat bhati means whatever is seen as sentient, whatever is seen as something which is having that consciousness or intelligence, tat tameva parameshwaram anubhati. That is, that Supreme Parameshwara, Supreme Lord. Parameshwara does not mean Lord Shiva. Parameshwara refers to a or rather impersonal entity called consciousness. We are referring to an impersonal entity called consciousness by this word Parameshwara. We are not referring to an Ishvara with that snake around and whatnot. Parameshwaram swataha bharupatvat bhantam. Because that Parameshwara is of the nature of that consciousness only. Swayam bharupaha. That is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So it is Jnana Swarupa. It is of that nature. So bharupatvat bhantam. Bhantam is that which is shining or that which is consciousness, that which is all knowing. Bhantam. Deepyamanam. Anubhati. Anubhati means shines after. Anu, you know. Yeah. Anu means after. Anubhati means shines after. That is shines in accordance with. Anubhati, that is anudipyate. Dipyate is another equivalent word for bhati. Anudipyate. So this anubhati I explained in detail. Yatha jalolmukadi agni sanyogat agnim dahantam anudahati na swataha tadvat tasyaiva bhasa deeptya sarvamidam suryadi jagat vibhati. So he is giving two examples. There is a boiling water. That boiling water means, what does it mean? Water associated with Agni. Or there is a fire torch, fire brand. What do you say fire brand? In olden days they used to put have a stick and then you soaked some cloth soaked in oil and some things like that. It is lighted up. That is called Ulmuka. Ulmuka is something like a firebrand. That firebrand which is shining, which is burning. So where is the heat for this? It is that that heat is not in the oil, but it is in the fire. Similarly, heat is not in the water, but it is in the fire, isn't it? When you say water is burning, water, it is not the water which is burning, it is the fire which is associated with water that is burning. So similarly, when we say that you are seeing, it is not you who is seeing, it is the consciousness of Brahman which is seeing. It is the consciousness of Brahman associated with this Antahkarana which is seeing. So that is the example given. Yatha jalolmukadi, jala ulmuka adi. Jala means water. Ulmuka is that firebrand. Ulmuka adi. Adi means etc. You can imagine. In Kathopanishad we saw this ayah pindaha. Ayah pindaha means that iron ball. That iron ball ayodahati. That is another example given. This ayah means iron. Okay, this iron is burning. It is not the iron which is burning, but it is the fire associated, the Agni which is associated with that fire which is burning. So similarly, when you say that you are seeing, it is not you and I who are seeing, but the consciousness of Brahman through our Antahkarana is what is seeing. Jalolmukha Agni Sanyogat, because of association with Agni. Agnim dahantam anudahati, na swataha. It is the Agni which is burning, and then this thing, what is this, this water or this firebrand, it is anudahati. Actual dahati has to be applied to Agni. It is anudahati only. So water anudahati, fire dahati. Fire is burning, water is burning after, anudahati. Similarly, shines and shining after. So anudahati, tadvat tasyaiva bhasa, likewise, tasyaiva bhasa diptya. By that supreme, by the consciousness or intelligence of that Brahman only, by that diptya, sarvamidam, suryadi jagat, sarvamidam, entire thing, including the Surya, Chandra, etc., Surya, the Jagat, this whole universe, including the sun, etc., vibhati, it shines. So all the so-called sentient beings, the intelligence of all the sentient beings is only a reflection of that consciousness of Brahman. So that is the basic, ultimate point. The intelligence of all this, say all the beings, it is nothing but a reflection in their antahkaranas of reflection of that supreme consciousness. Yata evam tadeva brahma bhati cha vibhati cha karyagatena vividhena bhasa ataha tasya brahmanaha bharupatvam swataha avagamyate. So in this sentence you can see yata evam ataha. Yata evam, because it is like this, because it is like this. So that is yata evam, because it is tadeva brahma bhati vibhati cha. The same Brahman which is bhati means by itself it is shining. Vibhati cha, it is appearing as though it is in different forms. Vibhati, vividham. In all sentient beings, that Brahman only is bhati. In all the so-called sentient things, it is that Brahman which is shining, which is knowing things. So Brahma bhati cha vibhati cha. So vibhati cha karyagatena vividhena bhasa. These are all karya. That is, Brahman is original karyam. We are all original karanam, and we are the karyam. And this karyam also is having some small bha. Bha means that light or small intelligence. Karyagatena vividhena bhasa. So when I am seeing this glass, this intelligence which is going through me is a small spark of that. When any animal, when some tiny animal, when some small ant, say, detects the sugar candy, so that the intelligence which is in that ant is again a reflection of that Brahman consciousness. So like that, karyagatena, those which have become karya, karyagatena vividhena bhasa, all these different lights, all these different intelligences, all these so-called tiny intelligences, vividhena bhasa, because this Brahman is shining like that, ataha means therefore, tasya brahmanaha bharupatvam swataha avagamyate. So this Brahma is the only thing which is bharupa. We are not bharupa. There is no doubt there is some bha. Bharupa in the sense, no doubt that bha is illumining. The real self is actually bha. I should stand corrected. I said we are not bharupa. We are really bharupa. But then this bha is only a small spark of that say supreme consciousness. We are really bharupa only. Otherwise how can you say I am Brahman? We are bharupa, but then that original bharupa is reflecting through us. That original Bharupa is reflecting through this body-mind consciousness, body-mind intellect, BMI. So, sarvamidam jagad vibhati virazit tasya brahmanaha bharupatvam swataha avagamyate. So that alone is that bhaswarupa. So it is very well known by this particular logic. Then nahi swataha avidyamanam bhasanam anyasya kartum shaknoti. So that which is itself not of bharupa cannot know other things. Only that which is bharupa, bhaswarupa can know all other things. So that is it. Then ghatadinam anya anavabhasakatva adarshanath anyavabhasaka bhasakatva adarshanat bharupanancha adityadinam tad darshanat. Okay, he is explaining the earlier line. That is, you take the ghatadi. Ghatadi means pot, etc., various objects which are insentient things. They don't have this anya avabhasakatvam. Anya avabhasakatva adarshanath. Adarshanam means we don't see. We don't see anya avabhasakatvam. In anya avabhasakatvam is the capacity to illumine others, capacity to cognize others. We don't see that capacity in ghatadi. In all these insentient things, we don't see that, say, capacity to illumine others. Whereas, bharupanamcha adityadinam, for these sentient things like bharupa, aditya, you can include you and me also, tad darshanat, it is there. It is there in all the sentient beings. It is there in all the sentient beings. It is not there in all the insentient beings. Then the same, a final concluding message the Upanishad is giving. For that there is a small avatarika. Yattad jyotisham jyotihi brahma tadeva satyam sarvam tad vikaram vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyamatram anrutamitarat ityetamartham vistarena हेतुतः प्रतिपादितं निगमनस्थानीयेन मन्त्रेण पुनः उपसंहरति. पुनः उपसंहरति. Okay. Yat tad jyotisham jyotihi brahma. That which is that light of all lights, which is the Brahman. That which is the light of all lights, which is Brahman. Tadeva satyam. That alone is satyam. When you say that alone is satyam, then what does it mean? All other things, they are only appearances. All other things. When you say that Brahman alone is this Vishwam, when you say this Brahman is this Vishwam, the very first mantra, first shloka of Vishnu Sahasranama also says that Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. The Vishwam itself is Vishnu. So the whole world is Vishnu. The whole world is Brahma. When we say, what does it mean? That Brahma alone is Satyam. What we are seeing is an appearance. Anandagiri is going to say that it is all Badhayam, Samanadhikaranam, etc. I will read out later. So when you say that one thing alone is there, then it automatically means that all other things, they have got a lower level of reality or lower degree of reality. That's it. Yatta jyotisham jyotihi brahma tadeva satyam. That alone is real. Then sarvam tad vikaram. All that is vikaram. All that is something which is an appearance. Vikara also here we should take it in the sense of vivarta, because we don't believe in parinamavada, isn't it? We only talk about vivarta. Vikara we should take it as vivarta. Vacharambhanam vikaraha namadheyamatram anrutamitarat. This vacharambhanam we have explained, we have seen earlier several times. Vacharambhanam means it is vaga alambanam. It is dependent on shabda alambanam. It is just based on a word, only verbally supported, not factually there. Something what we say is a word is only a verbally supported thing, but not actually there. Vacharambhanam, vikaraha, it is just a modification. Nama dheyam, nama matram, it is mere name. Whatever is verbally supported, in some other form it is saying nama dheyam, that is name only. Then anrutam, it is not something which is real. Real is what is real? That which is there, desha, kala, vastu, paricheda. All the three types of paricheda should not be there in any real vastu. That is, it is there at all places, at all times. So there is no desha parichinnatvam. There should not be any kala parichinnatvam. Kala parichinnatvam means in all the three times, past, present, and future, it should not be negated. It should be beyond time. Desha paricheda also should not be there. Kala paricheda, then if you just say kala paricheda, somebody can say desha paricheda is there. Okay, there is something which is stationed here, it is there at all times. It's not like that. Desha paricheda also cannot be there. So that is all pervading. Desha kala vastu paricheda. So vastu means there is no other vastu which is beyond that. So all the things, the whole universe is, whatever is see, it is there included in that. So there is something anavachinna, dikkala dyanavachinna, as Bhartrhari says. It is something which is unconditioned, I say not deconditioned by anything, not conditioned by anything. So that is it. Vikaraha namadheya matram anrutam itarat. Anrutam itarat means all else, all other things are, that is something which is unreal. Ityetam artham, the same artham, the same meaning, vistarena hetutaha pratipaditam. So it has already been postulated. Pratipaditam means that which it has already been presented. Pratipadana, Pratipadana means a sort of proposal. So pratipaditam means it has already been explained, it has already been postulated. Vistarena, in all great detail. Hetutaha. Hetutaha means logically. We have seen a lot of logical reasoning, isn't it? Hetutaha pratipaditam. Then all that thing, nigamanasthaniyena mantrena punaha upasamharati. Shruti is going to conclude it. Punaha upasamharati means again it is concluding. How? Nigamanasthaniyena mantrena. By one mantra which can be called a nigamanam. Nigamanasthaniyam means that which can be called a nigamanam. Nigamanam is a small technical word from Tarka Shastra. Tarka Shastra, in fact, students of Vedanta should also know a little bit of Tarka. So there is a primary book called Tarka Sangraha. So you have to read that Tarka Sangraha also. Tarka Sangraha is the most primary book by one famous, very, very famous book by a writer called Annam Bhatta. Annam Bhatta is supposed to be a Telugu man, somebody from Mehboob Nagar. The present day Mehboob Nagar, in those days, what Samsthan? He belonged to some Samsthan in Mehboob Nagar district, about 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. So Nigamanasthan, Nigamanam, yeah, the Nigamanam means, you know this, what is called Pramana. Pramana, you know the word, you have heard, we have discussed the word called Pramana. Pramana means a means of valid knowledge, or rather a valid means of knowledge. What is this? Yeah, means of valid knowledge. What are the Pramanas? Pratyaksha is a Pramana. That is by direct perception by the senses. Then Anumana, depending on what you perceive by the senses, basing on that, you draw some inference. So that is called Anumana. There are other things like Upamana, Shabda, etc. We need not discuss them now. In this Anumana, there is a particular way. There is a way you have to draw a conclusion. There is a manner in which you have to draw a conclusion. You have to, first of all, you have to make an your observation should be there. So that say on that hill there is say that fire. Why? I say on that hill there is fire. Why? Because there is smoke. And wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So that is again a logic. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So the hill also is having smoke, so there is fire. So that is it. So you have seen 5 small bits. First bit is there is fire. Parvato Vanhiman. That Parvata, that fire, there is fire on that hillock. Why? Dhumavatvat. That is a hetu. First thing is a statement. In logic, there is a technical word called pratignya. Pratignya means a statement. Statement of what you want to prove. First of all, you are making a statement of what you are proving. So pratignya. Hetu is, there is a cause, there is a reason. Why? Dhumavatvat. Because I see smoke there. Then there is a drushtanta, there is an example. Yatha mahanase. Like what we see in our kitchen. In the kitchen, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Invariably associated. Yatha mahanase. That is called a drushtanta. Then tat tatha. That also is like that. It is like that only. So you are applying this to say that which we are seeing now. What you have seen in your kitchen, you are applying to that. So that is called Upanaya. Upanaya is another step. Then Nigamana is the final conclusion. Nigamanam is a sort of reassertion. A reassertion of your pratigna is called Nigamanam. Basically a technical word from these technical words from Tarka Shastra. That is, now first statement is pratigna, hetu, udaharana or drishtanta, then upanaya and nigamanam. So these 5 steps, it is called Panchavayava Vakyam. Panchavayava means 5 limbs. So this anumana or inference has to be established in these 5 avayavas. These 5 parts are there. That is what the logicians say. Of course, in Tarka, in Vedanta takes only 3. They don't bother about 5. Parvato Vanhiman, say that fire is there, and then straight away they apply this logic, and then yes, it is there. In English also there is what is called a syllogism. Have you heard that word? Syllogism, Syllogism. It is called a syllogism. Long ago, when we read about Socrates, if you read the history of Western philosophy, the story of Western philosophy by a gentleman called Will Durant. So there you find about the first lesson is on Socrates. So Socrates was one man who introduced logic itself. Much prior to that also it might have been there, but Socrates is known for this logical deductions. So they say all men are mortal. That is the first statement. Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal. So the first statement, major premise, minor premise and conclusion. So this Nigamanam is like that conclusion, but it is a slight difference is there. It is a reassertion of what you have told earlier. Parvato Vanhiman, you have made that first assertion, and then you have come reasserting it by applying that logic. Anyway, we need not go into that. Nigamanasthaniyam, this is something, it is somewhat like that reassertion. That punaha upasamharati. Let us read the mantra. Brahmaivedam amrutam purastad brahma paschad brahma dakshinataschottarena adhasyordhvam cha prasrutam adhasyordhvam cha prasrutam Brahmaivedam Vishwamidam Varishtham. Okay, so this is an experience. This is the vision. This is the experience of a Jnani. This is the experience where this Jnani is having that Sarvatma Bhava. That is all around himself he is seeing Brahman only. He is seeing himself as Brahman. He is seeing everything else as Brahman. Not that he is seeing everything else as Brahman and not seeing himself as Brahman. That becomes a duality. When I say that he sees Brahman everywhere, it does not mean that I will go and bow everywhere and then I break coconut everywhere. We should not misunderstand like that. You see, suppose you simply say, you see Brahman in everything. We sometimes make a mistake. Oh, we Hindus, we see Brahman everywhere. It should not be understood as you go and bow before a tree, you go and bow before a rock. It is not like that. You see Brahman in yourself first, and that is how you see Brahman everywhere. So that is the basic point. So this is the vision of a Jnani, where he sees himself not different from Brahman. He sees all other things as not different from Brahman. Brahmaiva idam amrutam purastat. Brahmaiva idam amrutam purastat. This amrutam Brahma. This amrutam is an adjective for Brahma. Brahmaiva idam amrutam means this amrutam Brahma, this immortal Brahman, this immortal, this Druk Swarupa, this immortal Bharupam, this immortal consciousness or intelligence is what is there Purastat, means in front of me. That is Purastad Brahma, Paschad means behind is Brahman. Then Brahma Paschad Brahma Dakshinataschottarena, Dakshina Uttara can mean 2 things. Dakshina means south, southern direction. Dakshina we say Dakshina Dik means we say south. Uttaram you take it as north. You can take it like that, or you can also take it as Dakshina means right side. Dakshina Hastam. Uttara, the opposite of Dakshina is left. Towards my right there is Brahma, wherever you stand. Then towards my left there is Brahma. Adhasya down and Urdhvancha up. Down, Adhasyordhvamcha, say this. We talk about Dashadikulu, isn't it? 8 directions and 1 up and 1 down. So all the sides. That means wherever you are there, anywhere in the universe, Anywhere in the universe, it is almost like a center. For something which is infinite, there is no such thing as a center, isn't it? You and I can claim that we are in the center of the universe because nobody can dispute, nobody can disprove. So, adhasya urdhvancha prasrutam. It is pervading. Prasrutam is, it is pervading, vyaptam, everywhere. Then Brahmai Vedam Vishwam. This idam called Vishwam. What you called idam means Vishwam, isn't it? Idam shariram kaunteya. When you say idam means you are distinguishing yourself from that. You are objectifying it. So idam Vishwam is nothing but Brahma. When you say idam Vishwam, what all we see is nothing but Brahma, it automatically means that it is something which is an appearance. Brahma Vidam, Vishwam idam Varishtham. Idam, the same thing as, is not different from that Varishtham Brahma. This Varishtham is again an adjective for Brahma. This Varishtham Brahma is this whole Jagat. So we'll see the Bhashyam. Brahmaiva Uktalakshanam. Idam yat purastad agre. Abramheva avidya drushtinam pratyavabhasamanam. Tatha pasyad brahma. Tatha dakshinatashya tatha uttarena. Tathaiva adhastad urdhvancha. Sarvato anyadiva. Karyakarena prasrutam pragatam. Nama rupavad avabhasamanam. Okay. Brahmaiva, the same Brahma, Ukta Lakshanam. Ukta Lakshanam means the characteristics of whom have been described. The characteristics of Brahman have already been described. Ukta Lakshanam, that which has been told above. Ukta Lakshanam, idam yat purastad dushyate. It is that Brahma which we have discussed earlier is what is seen in front. Purastat means agre. Agre means in front. Agre. Abramhaiva drishyate. Abramhaiva means it is looking as not as Brahman. I am looking that as a book. I am looking that as a wall. It is not seen by me as Brahma. Abramhavad drishyate avidya drushtinam. Avidya drushtinam evam pratyavabhasamanam. For those who are having this avidya drushti, for those who are in that ignorance, in that state of ignorance, it is seen as object. It is seen as some external object. Pratyavabhasamanam. It is seen as some external object. Prati avabhasaman. Avabhasa means it is seen like that. It is seen, it is perceived like that. Avabhasamanam. Tatha pasyad brahma. Similarly, it is behind is Brahma. Tatha dakshinataha. Likewise, on the right hand side, tatha cha uttarena, that is towards your left. Tathaiva adhasya urdhvancha. Similarly, below and also up, urdhvancha. Sarvataha. Sarvataha means all around. Anyadiva karyakarena prasrutam. Karyakarena, in the form of so many karyas, in the form of so many effects. Effect means all these things, you and I are effects. All these objects are effects. In so many forms, the same Brahman is being seen. Pragatam. Pragatam means prasrutam. Prasrutam means pragatam. It is there, it has pervaded. How? Nama rupavad avabhasamanam. It is appearing in the form of name and form. All the objects, they are appearing in the form of name and form. So again and again we have to call back that line. What is that? Asti bhati priyam rupam namachet yamsha panchakam. Asti bhati priyam. These three are the characteristics of Brahma, whereas Rupa and Nama. Asti bhati priyam rupam namacha iti amsha panchakam. Isn't it? Rupa and Nama, that is Nama Rupe Vyakaravani. This name and form, they belong to Jagat. Whereas Asti Bhati Priyam, they are the characteristics of that Brahman. So these characteristics of Brahman are appearing as Nama Rupa everywhere, all around. So that is it. That is the point. Nama Rupa vad avabhasamanam. It is seen, it is perceived as the names and as name and form. Kim bahuna Brahmai Vedam Vishwam Samastam idam Jagad Varishtham Varatamam. So that particular line, Brahmai Vedam Vishwamidam Varishtham. That is, Kim Bahuna, what to say so many things? Why to say so many things? Brahmaiva idam Vishwam. This whole universe is that Brahman only. Samastam idam Jagat. The whole universe, what we see is that Brahman only. That Jagat Varishtham Varatamam. This Varishtham means something which is exalted, something which is great, very high. This is not referring to the Jagat. It is not referring to this world is exalted. It is the Brahman. The exalted Brahman is seen as this world. So the Anvaya is Varishtam Brahma idam Jagat. Varishtam Brahma idam Vishwam. That is, that exalted Brahman only is this Vishwam. This Vishwam is not exalted. That exalted Brahman only is seen as this Vishwam. Varishtam Brahma. Varishtam Brahma eva idam Jagat. So that is the point. Then Abrahma Pratyayah Sarvaha Avidya Matraha Rajvamiva Sarpa Pratyayah Brahmaivaikam Paramartha Satyamiti Vedanuशासनम. Okay. Abrahma Pratyayah. This experience of the external world as Abrahma. That is, seeing the external world as not Brahman. Seeing that as something which is different from Brahman. Abrahma Pratyaya means experiencing it as not different, as something different from Brahma. Abrahma. Experiencing it as Abrahma means experiencing it as not Brahma. That is because of avidya. Avidya matraha. Why? Rajvamiva sarpa pratyaya. Like you see a serpent on a rope. There is actually a rope, but you are seeing a serpent because of avidya. Then Brahmaiva ekam. This Brahma eva ekam. Brahmaivaikam. This Brahman alone is Paramartha Satyam. Paramartha Satyam is that which cannot be negated, that which cannot be sublated at any point of time. Negated. Satyamiti. Vedanuशासनम. Anuशासनम is something which is repeatedly told. Not something which is told for the first time. Anuशासनम. Shasanam means a particular statement. An order, let us say. Anuशासनam means an order following an earlier order. So Vedanuशासनam means where the Veda has been telling it all through. So that is the point. Here, of course, our Anandagiri writes a particular word called Badhayam Samanadhikaranyam. I will read out that line. Bhavati iti nijantam tasya bhasa sarvamidam bhavati ityasya brahmana svato bharupatve jagat sarvam brahmaiveti. Okay. I will read out. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati ityasya brahmana svato bharupatve. Because this Brahma is the only thing which is bharupam. Swataha bharupatve. Jagat sarvam brahmaiva. The whole world is Brahma. This statement like this, it is an example for Badhayam Samanadhikaranyam. You know this word called Samanadhikaranyam. Two things which are told in the same vibhakti. They are Samanadhikaranyam. Nilotpalam, Nilam, Utpalam. That is a Samanadhikaranyam. They are Nilam, Utpalam. They are both in the first, what is this, the Prathama vibhakti. They are equated. So when you say Sarvam Jagat Brahmaiva, they are Sarvam Jagatu Brahma, both are in the same Adhikarana. Adhikarana means in the same vibhakti. So what does it mean? The Brahma is the Vishwam. So they are in that Adhikarana. Which means it is like saying what the Sthanureva Purushaha. That is, what I have earlier seen as some log or some stump is that Purusha. Sthanureva Purushaha. Sthanureva Purusha. Sthanu is some in the night or semi-darkness you see some small stump there and then you think that it is a man. Or Purusha eva Sthanu, whatever it is. You mistake one thing for the other. Purusha eva Sthanu, suppose you say. What I thought of as a man is actually a stump. So what does it mean? One thing only is there, the other thing is unreal. Isn't it? There is only one thing. There is no other thing also. That one thing only is seen as something else. So that is Badha. Badha means it gets negated. What was seen as a snake, it gets negated. When I say the serpent is the rope. When I say serpent, okay, this is a better example. When I say serpent is the rope, the serpent gets negated. Isn't it? The serpent is the rope, they are on Samanadhikarana. Both are in Samanadhikarana, isn't it? in the same say vibhakti. They are actually equated. The serpent is the rope. When I say like that, then what is negated? When I say serpent is rope, the serpent gets negated. The serpent gets badha. Badha means sublation, sublated. It gets sublated or negated. And then what is remaining is that rope only is remaining. So, yoyam sthanuhu pumanasau itivat. He is also giving an example. Yoyam sthanuhu pumanasau. What I thought of as a sthanu, some stump, is actually a person. Yoyam sthanuhu pumanasau itivad. Anvaya vyatireka bhava pariharena tavan matratvam bodhyate. Which means tavan matratvam means there is nothing apart from that Brahman. There is nothing apart from that Brahman. You equate these two lines. This Vishwam is Brahma. You see, this Vishwam or Jagat is Brahma. You equate it with the snake is the rope. So this Vishwam gets negated. Similarly, the snake also gets negated. The Brahman remains like the rope remains. So that is what is called Badhayam Samanadhikaranyam. That is Samanadhikaranyam when one thing is going to be sublated, when one thing is going to be negated. That's it. So finally only one thing remains. So and this particular line, Abrahmavad pratyaya sarvaha avidyamatraha rajvameva sarpa pratyaya. Brahmaiva ekam paramartha satyam. Paramartha satyam means that is the only absolute truth. That is the only thing which cannot be negated, which cannot be sublated. Iti Vedanushāsanam. Shall we finish here? Or we still have some 5 minutes time? 3.5 minutes. Okay, we can see the next khanda in the next class. We can continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi.